Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike coming at you the weekly news interview for January 5th, 2025. 2025. Yes, we're in the future. We're in the future, Marty. What do you mean the future? Well, we're going to have a wild ride of a year. There's a lot of stuff that's going to happen. You know, the coolest stuff is the stuff that we don't even know that's coming out. But, you know, we're going to have masks coming out this year, a lot of cool stuff. But there's always a lot of Transformers news. Storm Arena, basically Storm Collectibles, is going to be making more Street Fighters, same characters, but we'll take a look at this. It looks kind of interesting. Then there's some more Hiya Toys G.I. Joe coming, and it looks pretty darn classic to me, and I like the way it looks. And then we've got the Cat Slayer starting to show up for people. It is massive. It's delivering, and you know, there's a lot of people that love the Bash on Super 7, but this thing is looking really, really nice. And then there's a little bit of Star Wars news, maybe not a lot of Star Wars news. I've kind of sat on this. I showed a picture once, but I'm going to talk about this and more coming up. First off, what's new at Showzy Store? Well, let's look at Gundam It. Gundam It is Showzy Store. It's a separate site you have to go to. Same login, same TH reviewer code. So ZT Toys is, I'm guessing, a knockoff of a Deadpool, 1/10 scale Deadpool, and Wolverine movie Deadpool. And it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty interesting. I'm tempted. I'm not a huge fan of Deadpool, the property, all that. But to have a premium version, yes, it is a knockoff of premium, looks like a whole lot of fun. As we're going to be talking about Hiya Toys later, this is the stuff that's still in stock for the Hiya Toys at Showzy. And as you can see, lots of them are on sale for cheaper than I paid for them when I bought them and reviewed them. So good time to buy some. And as you can see, they sell out pretty quick. There's not a lot of places you can get these. Showzy has up for sale. This is the actual Showzy though. The Aldi Transformers AAE version, Chapter 1, set of 6. So this is, I didn't know this till I read it on Showzy's site, that it's sold as a set of 6. And I don't know the price, $1 down, first quarter 2025 releasing, and they're in the scale of 4.72. So round Legends scale, looks like fun, similar to kind of what YOLO Park's done. Here's a picture of the outer box, and I'm guessing all these are the inner boxes. Not 100% sure how it comes, but it looks interesting, and it's just super G1, and these look to have quite a bit of articulation to them, non-transforming Legend scale. And I think it's worth getting the set. I did pre-order mine. I am going to get it, review it. RC is probably worth it, just for her. All right, so still sort of sticking with Showzy and what we saw Friday, talking about Showzy Store. People told me in the comments that it's up at BBTS. And somebody said Chosen Prime. I still can't find it on Chosen Prime. I struggle navigating that site. It's not as easy as Showzy or even TF Source for navigating. But anyhow, I did find it pretty easy on BBTS. $1,300 in the US. $200 down, non-refundable down payment. But during the course of time, the course of the day on Friday, Showzy had raised their price by $100. So it was $1,100, now it's $1,200. So those of you that saw the video early Friday morning and ordered one, got it for the $1,100 price point. Or those of you pre-ordered it also got that price point, but now it's gone up. That's telling me it's selling pretty quickly. Showzy doesn't just raise prices just for fun. It's selling quickly. They're getting lower on stock. And this is a very impressive, gotta say, a historic type of a release. And in person, like, this picture doesn't look as good as all the other pictures we're seeing online. Here's one that's standing straight up, which I don't see very many pictures anywhere with anybody displaying it like this. And I think it's really important to get to see this figure standing like this. So there are multiple different people getting their hands on it. Of course, they're in China, so they're right there, able to get it right away and post these on Weibo. This is still, it's impressive. It is stylized, but it's very, very, very impressive. This doesn't even have the lights on the fingertips and the head and all that kind of stuff, but it still looks impressive. So I'm kind of going to lead with this here. There is a 3D printed kit. I found it on AliExpress. There's a site to kind of a shady looking site that I just wouldn't want to be part of. But AliExpress is kind of like eBay in a way. It's eBay in China, and it's still a crapshoot. I mean, my son orders directly from there, and he's had a couple of items that just never arrived, and we got our money back, but it's just like a big question mark for 2 months. Will we get it? Will we not? What's going on? Does it even ship? But this is something that is very impressive. It is a 3D printed kit that you can buy, and you can just plug it in your shell that you get with your $400 last character. Was it Jester? But you plug all these pieces in, and you've got yourself a figure. And all of your other $220 each limbs can stand separately. So you can have a combined mode, and you can have a separate mode, and you don't have to transform anything. You just plug the kit in. I am probably going to get this because I really like the Fanstoys in alt modes, and it really doesn't make sense to spend another $1,200-$1,300 to be able to have a combined mode and separate mode. Superion is my favorite. Now, these will not have near the quality of paint that we saw from Fanstoys on the original bots, but the whole kind of framework is still going to have that paint to it. So, I mean, it's kind of a give and a take. The site I saw was $107 plus 7 shipping. I don't know if they charge tax, because, I mean, it's China, so why would they charge tax? So this is very, very impressive to me that they're doing this. And guess what? It's going to be way lighter weight than the original ones. I mean, just every aspect of this all the way around seems like a great option. And then here it is from the back. So I think this is very impressive. Looks good. I am probably going to get one, and I'm not sure if it's really needs a review. You'll just plug it in and put it up. But I will probably utilize it in a couple of comparison videos if I get my hands on one. I mean, it's going to be months away till it even shows up, but it's not going to be released. Like, you can order it, but it says there's no release date for this. Is going to be January 31st. All right, so this next one is not for the faint of heart. This one is the MD003 KO of the Flames Toys Fury model kit. What I would have rather them do is have it pre-assembled. That would have been awesome. I'd be ordering this instantly, but it looks good. I mean, the kit itself looks pretty good. I'm not exactly sure why when they show it, all of them have 3 RCs in each one, but they do like to show you that it looks really good from all these models. RC Fembots have really kind of taken over. They also show you from behind. You can see anatomically correct robots works. I don't take these pictures, but this is how it scales with Romulus. The Romulus, this is New Age's Romulus Megatron, which is Studio Series. So would it fit in your Studio Series? I don't know. But these people have a lot of fun with these pictures on Weibo. So we got another one. This one is Bingo Toys. This is another kind of recolor of their... This is... Oh, Big Firebird. Sorry. Big Firebird. Oh, yeah. Notcha. I don't know why I keep thinking this one's the Bingo Toys one. So Big Firebird EX03 Notcha in hand, and it looks very, very impressive. The thing that gets me with this one is the colors. I mean, how many paint hits is that? I mean, there's at least a dozen, 20, I don't know, paint hits. Very, very impressive looking figure overall. And I think they've done a great job. But you got to remember that this thing does transform, and what really gets me is the gold paint on it. But it seems like this thing is either about to release or already released, and it's come a long way. And yeah, it looks good. So, Big Firebird. Gotcha. Fans Hobby usually shows all kinds of stuff every week, and just like small incremental updates, and I guess this falls into that same category. So please be noted, a new head with a new faceplate for MB18 is included in the MB25 Aeroblade set. There also will be another combo set to be listed soon. MB18 Core Robot plus MB25. Stay tuned, but it's more faces and head sculpts and stuff that's going on. Minor changes, but I guess it's great. I guess when it comes to this, the more the merrier. All right, so I came across this. It was a YOLO Park Aplink custom and it's supposed to be comic colors, but I have to admit that I like this more than the original coloration, and I'm starting to wonder, will we see all of these figures that come out start seeing recolors into something like this? Is this an avenue that people would want, maybe Studio Series, or the actual transforming figures, or the non-transforming but highly articulated figures? I believe this is just a statue, but still, would this coloration, would going this direction boost sales of these things, or is there really not a huge following of Rise of the Beast, that kind of stuff? People like to say things, and it almost sounds mean. But when it's true, it doesn't matter. It's true. The truth hurts. The tooth hurts. The truth hurts. But I am in on this MPG set. Wednesday, I reviewed my Power Master Optimus Prime. Had a little bit of fun, a little skit at the end after post-credit skit of Tetris and all that. But it's a brick. But this is Takara's effort, and I guess we're learning the hard way what MPG is. MPG is Masterpiece that's just slightly bigger than the main line, I guess. But I'm okay with the size and scale of this. I'm actually not upset about it. I'm in on this, and I'm in on the separate cab. But I got a picture of the KFC, and I have to admit that people were telling me that the KFC or fans' hobby is a power baser. Those are true masterpiece. This is not. This is more like Chug. But it's still bigger than the original vintage one, and it's Takara and all that kind of stuff. But maybe I should have gone with KFC, size-wise, scale-wise. But at this point, it's a little too late, in my opinion. And I'm okay with the size. I'm okay with it because of the fact that I'm starting to run out of I've ran out of masterpiece space to display, but the spot I have for this is actually based on all the pictures I've seen anyway, so I already have a place for it. I don't know if the KFC one would look good in that spot now, but a lot of things you got to think about when you're buying this stuff. So I'm still in on it. I'm still excited for it, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to review it, but I'm waiting till I get it and the other one at the same time. But I have to admit, I've heard negative things about the KFC one, but the only negative I can really point out is that, it's a positive. It looks really good. All right, next up we're getting into the Robot Toys Cheetor, and I don't want to be a cheater here, but I'm using this picture. So many people said that this looks so like everything's stylized, and this now matches the Masterpiece. Well, I believe this is the Masterpiece. It's not the Studio Series, I don't think, or anything like that, or what do they call it? Kingdom. I don't think it's Kingdom. Now, I want to point this out that it's not as stylized as the other ones they've had, but I'm okay with it. In fact, I'm okay with having a stylized figure right next to a very, very, very G1 representation, a vintage representation, which, by the way, we're going to get to talk about all those terms that we either get right or get wrong. That'll be a fun video. But looking at it, I am very pleased with how it looks, and I will definitely order this one. And then there's the black version. I'm going to get that one too. I mean, it's really exciting that there's really no one else doing Beast Wars in the Legends scales right now. And I'm glad that they're giving some of these classic characters a classic look. Here's YOLO mode. We've kind of seen pretty much this last week. Really, the only new difference is a comparison to the Masterpiece. But I guess I could have overlaid that and made that happen last week anyway. But still, it's kind of cool. If you're into the Legends scene and you're into the Beast Wars, this might be for you. So it's New Age. New Age makes Legends stuff, so I stuck this in the Legends, even though this is more Studio Series. But the box art for their Romulus is, people showing it, it looks really good. It's really impressive. It's really exciting. I'm curious how many colors they make of this. And it's one of those things that they might get me 2 or 3 times on this. It looks good. It looks great. It's slightly smaller than the Commander class Prime. Already talked about why I think that is, but anyway, box art. Mine's in the mail, on the way from Shozy Store, and I'll be reviewing it pretty soon. Speaking of New Age, this is their take on Warpath. I have to admit, it looks fantastic. Their paint is superior. It is on the level of Fanstoys. And the designs, usually Magic Square wins for me in the design, point, but there's not a Magic Square version of this, and I think it looks really, really, really nice. And, you know, I've got the MPH version, which is okay for a budget one, but this one, it's a little more expensive than the MPH, but it's got that extra little add-on piece to look like it's firing the missile, and you can see it like you're taking a picture. It's a stop motion kind of like, boom, I got the picture of it shooting. That is really cool, too. Ramen Toys actually making a blast effect that looks like this to go with one of their tanks. This is interesting. I look forward to reviewing this. Again, I have this coming in the mail also. And a lot of things to talk about are things I like because I have them coming in. But I will be definitely reviewing this, comparing it. And I think Magic Square is slow rolling on the Legends. They're not stopping. They're slowing because they're doing a lot of Masterpiece stuff. But New Age is mostly still in the Legends. Jizzy Toys, or if you're really freaky, Jizzy Toys, they're coming out with this. So my understanding from what I'm hearing, I'm going to credit Matthew Deluxe Baldwin on this one for saying that this is, you join their Patreon, then you get the files to download, and you can print it yourself. That's what I'm hearing from Deluxe. If that's right, or if I might have got it wrong. I might have completely got it wrong, but that's what I thought he said in a video, and I was like, that's a pretty good way to do it. Join the Patreon, pay your $5 or $10, whatever it is a month, and then print them. But still, this is interesting. It's an RC. It looks to me like an RC head, if I'm right on that one. One of the things about the character RC is that it's a huge misrepresentation of the character because we never get a headmaster over. And I think Hasbro's done one, but it's a horrible figure. It's just basically Blur. And this is kind of a fun idea. It's still not exactly what I'd want. Next up, the QQT King Predacons, more updated pictures. Not to be confused with QQQ buying an index fund. This is very interesting that they're doing this. It looks cool. This is core class, though. So what is core class, Mike? Core class means smaller than Legends. Sub-Legends. Combined mode is going to be smaller than all the other combiners. But it still looks pretty cool overall. And I think this will be a great picture to show size. Size of this, it's a little smaller than the David. David is the New Age version. Smaller than Magic Square, but puts it in the size class there. I mean, on the left there is a core class Megatron. So you can see how all that stacks up and fits and size and scale. Still, more information to come on this in the future. I might be on the set, though, just because it seems to be pretty G1. And it seems like maybe it's not going to be too expensive. I hope. All right, so we've got Studio Series Bumblebee. They call this SS116 Deluxe Bumblebee Movie Edition. In-hand images. If you like the way this looks, then there it is. I mean, Hasbro doing what Hasbro does was technically Takara with Hasbro's name on it, but there it is. Here's the alt mode, and looks like a very real-world bug, and there's two camps. There's the camp that wants real-world, the camp that wants cartoon. With the truth be told, this is live action, so you don't get a choice. It has to be the real world. Anyway, it still looks pretty cool. It looks pretty good if you're in on this. All right, next up, this is a list of things coming out. Bot versus Con. I've talked about them in the past, and I want to say that they are fun to watch. It's kind of funny sometimes because it's almost like they disagree on purpose just for fun. But maybe they just happen to disagree a lot. But it is funny watching them disagree. But this is some stuff they said that's coming out. Go watch their podcast. Listen to them disagree about what they like and don't like and enjoy it. So you can look down through all this. The few highlights I'm just going to point out. Mobat Optimus Prime is something that's on the way. Crossovers and stuff. Then I want to point to the right, close to the top, MPG Defensor. So pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. I'm not sure if this is 100% true, and I haven't found this myself. They found it, so great job. Go watch their video. They'll have a lot more information than I do, and I just wanted to kind of point this out, direct you to them. All right, Super 7 Ultimates is awesome. I mean, I'm a Super 7 shill. I like a lot of their stuff, and I picked up a handful of things from other toy lines, from Disney, and I've kind of put my hands into other Ultimates just because the Ultimates look that good. And so, with that, its cast letter looks good. It looks amazing. It looks impressive. And I always thought you could do a few things with it that you can do, but this is the only picture I'm going to show. There's lots of pictures floating around from a lot of people that have it. I don't even have mine shipped yet, but I will do a review of it. I'm excited for it. It's impressive. I don't think I truly have I planned the space for it, but now that I see it and people showing it and reviews and stuff, I don't think I got enough room planned for it, but I'm still excited for it anyway. And I plan to move all my collection to it so that I can free up a shelf for Street Fighter and some Dungeons & Dragons, but I guess Dungeons & Dragons is kind of slowing. Anyhow, it looks amazing. Absolutely amazing. And in fact, I think the production is better than their display that they had at SDCC. So from the pictures I've seen, the videos I've seen, and everything that's been shown off, it is even better than before. And I can't say that about all their figures. Like the figures and vehicles. I mean, sometimes it doesn't look as premium. This looks very, very premium. Very, very nice. Even better than I imagined. But I don't have mine yet, so I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully I'm still impressed when it shows up. Yo Joe, Real American Hero. This is Torpedo. And it is Hiya Toys, 4-inch scale. They've done a really good job with this. I'm impressed with every figure that they made. I don't really like the hand system that they use because it's okay on like larger figures, but when you're talking 4-inch figure, it's a pain. But still, that aside, I'm impressed with everything that they put out. It is a higher price point. They're made in much, much smaller quantities. This is not mass market at all. And this is, to me, this is as classic as you can expect for Hiya Toys, for anyone really making in the modern day. This almost rivals the retro version that they made for Hasbro. So it's amazing. This is amazing. They had a retro something that was a diver, and it looked very, very good. But this rivals it, and it's the first one out the gate. I think they understand their audience. The audience loves G.I. Joe, a Real American Hero, wants a slight upgrade, but not to go way over the top like Classified did in the beginning. And they're hitting that mark just right. But here's what Torpedo comes with, and he's got a bunch of stuff. They've upgraded his spear gun, upgraded his flippers and his helmet, and apparatus and stuff. But at the end of the day, you look at him and you could put him next to the vintage figure and feel like they definitely are very, very similar and inspired, yet different and updated. But affording the price to this, I mean, these are usually like in the $30 to $40 range for 4-inch scale figures, which turned me off at first, but after reviewing a handful of them, I really like them. All right, so we got pictures of G.I. Joe Classified, dial tone and leatherneck, and I gotta say they look pretty good. As somebody that I really just kind of want retro figures. If the first one out the gate's retro, I'm good. If it's too way out there, I think I'm passing and just waiting for a retro. Problem is, they're not going to do a retro of every figure, and there's 500 characters, or 500 versions out there. So who knows what's going to happen with these? These look retro enough to me to get them right away, and I'm impressed. I think they did a good job. They gave the characters what they need. The face sculpts look decent enough. Dial Tone's face sculpt looks a little weird, but then again, it's passable. But at the end of the day, these look pretty good. Classified is my second when it comes to this scale. I would rather have Super 7, but still haven't heard anything about the next wave from Super 7. Storm Collectibles putting out what they call Storm Arena, Street Fighter Alpha 3, which is kind of some remakes of their Ryu and Ken. Obviously, you want to milk the mold. Obviously, you want to get as much money out of it as you can, but I'm not in on it. I just kind of am sick of the same characters getting put out. Problem is that these are two of the most popular characters, and if anyone's getting into this right now, they want to get popular characters like this and not pay, I don't know, $5 more on the aftermarket. So That is why I think they're doing it, a cash grab. But I have to admit they look good, and they might look better than the previous versions that are out there. I just really the Blanca's coming in the mail, Blanca, and a few others that they have in the works, and I think they've done a great job with everything so far. But these, to me, it feels like a cash grab. I don't really want to duplicate figures. I just want one of each. Jada is killing it, and I'm not surprised that Storm Collectibles is still doing these and doing well. But Jada's doing such a great job that for a quarter of the price, you're getting about 80 to 85% of what Storm Collectibles does. Next up, we got the pipeline reveals for Retro Collection Star Wars. I gotta say, other Star Wars YouTubers have just done full-on videos about this, breaking it all down and all this kind of stuff. I have to say that I don't think this is a bad wave. I think that this is a decent wave. It's solid. The only problem is it's literally almost everything in this wave has been made by Stan Solo. Now, there's a couple of schools of thought. Stan Solo has outperformed and made better figures. The packaging's better. Everything's better from Stan Solo. But you're paying $40 to $50, depending on if it's loose or just how you get it. And these are $10 each. So you're looking at $60, $70 for a 6-pack. Probably 70. I mean, Hasbro's gone up on these. And you're going to get them cheaper. They're not going to be as good. But 90% of people buying this are not even going to open it. But you get that stupid weathered edging to the packaging, which is just ridiculous. And it's one of those things that people that collect Star Wars, they want to get the best of the best most of the time. I'm okay with this. I'm going to order it. I'm going to buy it. 70-something bucks for these. I think they're great character selections. So it's giving me what I want. I'm going to buy it. I mean, in fact, this will probably be 90 or 60 to 90% of my expenditure on Star Wars for the year of 2025. Is that ridiculous? No. They give me what I want. I buy it. All the other weird nonsense that they're putting out, I can just leave it on the shelves. I don't even buy it at Ollie's or Ross. This, I do buy. I would like to see them make more of this. I would like to see a concerted effort from Hasbro to give us the 96. And I really would like to have it exactly how Kenner did it. And the back, the card backs looking correct. And I mean, even if they started over, I'm okay with it. It needs to be right. But they haven't done this right from day one. It was wrong from day one. And the thing is that I'll take these characters, but it still isn't done correctly. Stan Solo does it correctly. They do a much better job. I do like how they do things. But Stan Solo, because of Hasbro intervening on this, they stopped with their Indiana Jones, and they're slowing down on the Star Wars. They're going in a weird, different direction with Star Wars, but it's still all good. Alright, so Skeleton Crew. I gotta tell you that I have a challenge watching it. My wife doesn't want to watch it. So we end up watching something else. We're working on Dune 2. Did half Dune 2, another half Dune 2. But I talked her into watching this. She does not want to watch Skeleton Crew anymore. She watches every Marvel thing that comes out and every Star Wars thing that comes out, and we'll probably watch Andor. I get people that are so mad at me that I said that I'm Skeleton Crew's not really all that great. People mad. Oh, it's amazing. It's fun. It's like Goonies in space. Okay. But it's not great. It's targeting kids. Like, we're talking like 8 to 12-year-olds. And you can tell they're targeting kids. And it's not really for me. I want to watch it anyway so I can talk about it. People really get mad when I say that Andor was boring. I did not enjoy Andor. Andor 2, I'm going to give it a shot. But if it's boring and slow-paced, and it was like a spy show. It's not the greatest Star Wars, in my opinion. And with that, I'll give it a shot, though. But I'm still sticking this out. I'm hoping Skeleton Crew has a payoff. And you can sit through all this. You can watch it. There's a couple of fun moments, good moments, decent moments. But in the last episode, where they destroyed the hull of the ship, and it turns into a new ship, that's just ridiculous. Did I run it for you? Maybe. But a lot of stuff in these shows are just ridiculous, and it just doesn't feel like Star Wars. It feels like Starship Troopers, like a C version of Starship Troopers, maybe. Well, if you stuck with me all through the video, you're getting a bonus Mecha Invasion. Mecha Invasion is showing off their combined mode with the legs and all that, and it looks to be pretty big. It's so big that it needs a bunk bed, so it has its own bunk to sleep in. But it does look pretty cool. I'm not sure about the full-on truck mode in the bottom foot. I would rather a more classic truck foot, the classic cab-over design on the foot. But I bet this is even more stable because of it. But it's coming along pretty well. Mecha Invasion. Let me know what you think about this week's weekly news and review. Did any of this rub you the wrong way? If so, you need to think about how's 2025 going to go for you, because there's going to be a lot of curveballs hitting us, not just with collecting in the real world. It's going to be a wild ride. It's going to be fun. It's going to be scary. But I'm going to be here for all of it. Like, subscribe to Dear Hanger out.
No bad bitches on there, ain't no mediocre. No more no mediocre. I won't eat no mediocre. You a bad bitch, standing on a mediocre.